All right, all right. We are back again for the collegiate side of the CEA. How you doing? Did you have a nice little break? Well, actually, I talked to you for the whole thing. So how you doing?
I'm having a good job. I'm a little bit sad because Clem and Showtime are probably playing one of the games of the year right now, and we had to go live, so I had to turn it off. But know that's happening too if you want to open that up in multi-Twitch. But as sad as I am that I don't get to watch the end of that game, I'll catch the VOD later. I'm excited for this match that we get going on here. Of course, well, maybe not, of course, because there was a whole lot of fun there. It will be the University of Akron, the Hobbits. No, versus
Yep. Yeah. Yep. You're good.
Are they just the Hobbits?
Yep.
Okay, I was thinking they were Hobbit something. Anyway, the Hobbits versus NEU's Beantown Bronze. Hobbits. This is the first time we see them, and we barely were able to actually get them in this game as some stuff happened. But fear not. We carried through, and we're gonna have a great best of 5 coming up in the next hours, or for the next hour and a half or so.
Yeah, it should be a really fun one. Should be a very neat little game between these two teams, these two schools. They are in that, I believe, Challenger. Yes, Challenger stage. So they are kind of fighting for seeding, as it were. And well, hopefully it should be a pretty good one.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned this is the Challenger stage. So what that means is, unlike what we saw about an hour ago with the corporate side of things, these teams are not guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. Not yet. They have to place, and I believe it's the top 50% here. Whisper may correct me, but they do have to place sufficiently high enough in this Challenger bracket to be able to qualify for the playoffs.
Yep.
So that's not a guarantee here. So they do have a good bit to fight for, more than just seeding about where they're going to go on into that playoff bracket structure. Yeah,
and it is 3 weeks of the Challenger, I believe. Or wait, is that right? Nope, sorry. That's the progress bar. Never mind. I'm looking at the progress bar. It's like 1 green out of 3, but that's because 1 match has been finished out of 3.
It is some number of weeks that we will find out about.
It'll be a little bit, yeah. But it should be fun.
Absolutely, and we're just getting ready to get on in here. Unfortunately, I don't have fun stats for you this week because, well, we didn't know whether it was going to be Akron versus NEU, whether that was actually going to happen until the very last minute. So what I do know is it's going to be a good game. We have seen the Beantown Bronze in the past. And
yes.
I believe they lost when we cast them.
I think so, but they actually have a decent record. They're actually 3-2, and the Akron Hobbits are they actually have yet to win a match. They're actually 0-5. So this is kind of a bit of a do or die match for them. And it is against a team that on paper is going to be pretty heavily favored, but I think they could definitely, make some waves.
Oh yeah, yes and no. When we look at this, actually, we talk about 3-2. It's unfortunate. Beantown Bronze. Of course, we were talking about this is the Challenger. There is one level above this, which is the placement matches, where it is the top 4 teams trying to fight for seeding. And that is 2 4-1 teams. The UCSD Tritons and the University of Chicago. We love Omga Banana. That's how you try to pronounce
OMG a banana.
Yeah, OMG a banana. Anyway, those 2 teams, they're tied at first place. And interestingly enough, I guess UFC didn't have the tiebreaker, even though they did beat UCSD. But anyway, and then there were 2 3-2 teams. However, the way it worked out this time, there were 2 3-2 teams that did not qualify for that upper level of group play. One of those, of course, is the Beantown Bronze, sitting here at 3-2, assumedly just not carrying the tiebreaker that Riders of Brohan and UC Irvine did.
Yes,
so
I would
they're
assume
sitting
so.
There. Yeah, so they're sitting there at the point where they are potentially in that upper bracket, right? And just so that doesn't feel all that great. It does give them an advantage. They're like, look, we beat everyone here once, we can do it again. But I agree. They absolutely have to be the favorites here.
It would seem to be, yeah. Definitely gonna be A little bit of an open match, a little bit more flexibility, as when players are a little bit lower level, sometimes you can catch them off guard, even if on paper they're a little bit better than you. You come in with a prepared build. Maybe it's a little bit easier for, like, let's say a Silver League player to beat maybe a Platinum League player than it is for a Platinum League player to beat a low Masters player. So a little bit more of that instability as you are at that lower tier.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we talk about things, you say, yeah, this is do or die for Hobbits, but it's do or die for everyone in this bracket, as I believe your performance in the Swiss stage does not carry over to your performance here, to your seeding. And all that matters now is your performance in this second group play. So Akron, it's a new day. It's a new time for them. They have the opportunity to make up for the sins, for the woes of their Swiss stage. And if they do well here, forget Swiss stage. Doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
They're going to the playoffs regardless.
It's like it never even happened.
Exactly.
So it's that ability to perform under pressure when it means the most. And, well, we are going to be getting into game number 1 in just a moment here. And oh, Submarine is going to be the match. It will be a ZVP between Blue Marble and Wolfpack. Wolfpack, that is a cute little name right there. Gotta love it. Representing the doggos.
A true Hobbit. Friend to all.
Friend to all. And we have spawning up in the top left. It is the Blue Zerg player. Give it up for Blue Marble. Representing Beantown Bronze, Northeastern University. Gonna be going for a 12 pool here.
And his opponents in the bottom right, in the pink, representing dogs and hobbits everywhere for the University of Akron, it's Wolfpack.
Arr.
I was contemplating it. You did it. There we go.
You sent those mental waves, and I picked them up, and I was just like, oh, I know what to do. This is
there we go.
Friend to all, as it would say. Very interesting little opening. Wolfpack putting the pylon as a part of the wall. And that could be a little bit of vulnerability as these first 6 Zerglings come across the map. And even going for a gas first, so a very tech-heavy build potentially coming our way. Now,
yeah,
not scouting into the main base. Sorry, you were about to say something.
Yeah, no, I was going to say what you just said. Yeah, this was a pylon scout off of, and he's not going to go up on the high ground, so he knows there's no natural. And that should honestly tell him everything he needs to know. We do know that we do see a second pylon going down, and that is another one of those. Oh, we got some lag here. That's unfortunate, but it's gonna clear its way up, and that is one of those things that does make that pylon placement so unfortunate. If you place your pylon properly, you can wall off your entire natural with one pylon. You can get, I believe you can actually. Yeah, the power field should work. But now this requires 2. But this is not a Ford's first, but this is a Heart of the Swarm opening right here.
Yeah, little. Oh no! Oh no! It looks like Blue Marble has put one of his units, or 4 of their units, on move command and tried to move through the wall. And as a result, they did not go the correct direction. And now Wolfpack is going to have an opportunity to try and get this wall up. Oh, but there is...
I believe that's a misplaced Cybercore, yeah.
Yeah, this will not fully wall. And that is a big problem for Wolfpack. Cannon's going to try and go down, but it is going to be a little bit too late. Well, a lot too late, to be honest.
All right, so we will see the one Zealot go, but actually he's going to let this cannon complete. Okay, where's the Zealot going? Yeah, the Zealot is not in a good position here. Will get surrounded. And with the cannon going down as well, there's just not a whole lot here. More and more Zerglings actually not streaming across the map. And are we going to see a full wall on the high ground? No, we will not. He's going to try, but he will fail. And now Zerglings, they found their way on into the main base. But this is only 6 Zerglings, and theoretically, if the probes are pulled, maybe they can survive, but the probes are not getting pulled. And in fact, they're just dying. 6 probes go down, more on the way, and This is this is some game-ending damage right here.
Absolutely. Down to 4 probes right now. 15 have gone down, and the wall is still technically not complete. Oh, he is gonna keep the probes alive for a moment. But, well, that's not going to be enough. Pylon does still go down. A little cute move from ooh, nice hold position on that one probe. But that does mean it will go down. And we're looking at 19 drones to just 3 probes that are not mining at the moment.
Hey, you know what? This is Starcraft. You don't need to mine to win games. You don't need a macro to win games. You don't need economy to win games. As long as your buildings are shiny and your micro is on point, well, that's all you need, right? That's how this game, this RTS works?
Technically, yes. And that has happened before in the past. But usually that's a situation where it's like 2 Immortals and a Warp Prism. And the opponent is on Hatch Tech. And it turns into a weird base trade scenario. Not 2 Zealots versus, a Zerg player that's got a lot of drones and, well, heading up into Roach Tech. To be honest, there is no clear path back into this game for Wolfpack.
I guess there's, if he had been able to keep that 3rd zealot alive, and he moves across the map with 3 zealots, and it's very, very few lings because Blue Marble was maybe hitting that drone butt too hard, and the zealots hit right as there's no more larva, and the queens don't micro properly, and they get trapped against that wall. And even then, I don't think that's enough. But +1 is on the... Okay, we got +1 on the way.
These 2 Zealots, they're going to 2-shot Zerglings if they ever get the opportunity.
Yeah, but
they won't.
As they say, there's more where that comes from. And I don't care if you're 2-shotting. I don't care if you're 2-shotting Zerglings. If well, again, when there's more where that came from, you're just able to replace and replace and replace, full on forward the swarm bleeding.
Yeah, and Wolfpack is doing a good job of rebuilding probes right now, already getting back up to 11. But it's not as if the Zerg has been idle during this whole time. Already up to 31 drones, 7 more on the way. We've got the 3rd base done. We've got a layer nearly finished. We've got +1 missile well far along. He's even building spores in case of DTs or oracles, or even void rays for that matter. But to be honest, Wolfpack can't afford any of that. Just now getting a stalker.
And no warp. I mean, there's going to be no warp gate in this game. The cyber core is not even powered, so that is problematic. We're going some old school Brood War strats here, as warp gate, of course, was not a thing back then. But you know, you talk about these spores as these things that you can use for to defend against Dark Templar, to defend against oracles. But my question for you, Steadfast, because I think I know what Wolfpack is going here more than anything else. Blue Marble, he's done a great job of preparing for the 1-based carrier transition that we're going to see here, because clearly those spores, 1 spore per base, is going to be able to deal with a carrier moving in.
Well, I mean, you know, if the carrier's not fully loaded and those interceptors, they just kind of derp around, eventually they will get taken out by that. And the +1 does finish up here for the Protoss player. So this Ling run by attempt, it's going to have a slightly more difficult time. Oh, and there we go. Absolutely. That Zealot already up to 6 kills. If it gets enough... If it gets enough more kills, it is going to level up, and then it's going to be a real problem to deal with. You know, once you get into those higher level skills, hit level 6, you can turn on those ultimates. If you can get up to level 11 or level 16, you can maybe even go into that 3rd level of ultimate, get some items on this bad boy, and you are all of a sudden cruising across the map.
Yep. I don't know what game you're talking about. I'm pretty sure it's not StarCraft. But we have a new RTS coming out soon, in the next 5 years, right? And they were talking about maybe hero units, whatever. I'm not sure what they're going to do with that. And I guess you've given them a good idea. Maybe we merge the ARTS and the RTS genre, and have and go back more to the Warcraft 3 stage things. As yes, you're making me dizzy, dude. As we do have the roaches now, they're getting ready. They're gonna go on. I can't crush in, but this cannon and this 1 zealot.
Oh.
Nope, never mind.
It looks like that was their only mission, and then they just go home. They're like, all right, this guy's killed 6 of our brethren. We need to leave. We need to take him out and leave. It was strategic. But he will move back in here, takes out the Stalker as well, and Wolfpack, after being dead for about 5 minutes, finally does get forced out of that game. GG is called.
Yep, I think that's one of those where you're like, maybe I didn't take quite as much damage as I thought. No, or maybe my opponent sold out a little bit more and I could be okay. And then then they show up 5 minutes later with 100 or however much supply that was of roaches, and you're like, no, I was dead. Okay.
I was just completely dead this whole time.
Yeah.
That was
so one of those, and honestly, that's one of those games that just feels like the worst, right? When you're there and you're like, why did I waste my time? I mean, granted, this is a tournament setting. If you have even a slim chance of winning, you're going to go for it. But man, when you're sitting there, you're like, why did I waste my time? I've been dead for the last 15 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever the case may be. Why did I waste my time and invest my emotional and physical effort into trying to win this game that I couldn't?
Yeah. But that one time out of 100 that you do, and it works out, you are just, you are unstoppable. You're on cloud 9.
Yeah, absolutely. It is one of the, you quit Starcraft for the day. You kind of go run around your house. You scream a little, do a little dance, sing a little song.
Get down tonight. Yeah. I was picking up what you were putting down. That was good.
Oh man, you should see what it's like when I Ash Pliskin, who is a half of Cockeyed Gaming, she plays D&D. She's one of the people that plays D&D with Nura.
Yes,
and,
yeah.
She casts with me occasionally for the Axon Cup, and you should see how bad that stuff goes.
I can imagine she gets a little bit rowdy. Has
a little bit rowdy.
Yeah, definitely a fun character to have, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, but see, the trick there is even more than rowdiness is just the sheer amount of Z-grade puns going on. Because again, I'm pretty sure bad jokes are my lifeblood, and similar case of her. So you just kind of sit there, and you have the chat just yelling at you for how bad everything is. You're like, well, you know what? If I make your ears bleed, then you don't have to hear me, so it's fine.
It's good stuff. Good stuff. And well, we're going to be getting into game number 2 in just a moment here.
Yep, we're going to have Samwise versus Firebats. Firebats playing for NEU. Samwise the Hobbit playing for the Hobbits. Which should surprise no one. It's going to be a PvZ, I believe. There we go. Another PvZ. This time, the Protoss is going to have the MMR advantage just slightly. But, you know, this is something I've talked about a little. I think we've talked about this in previous casts as well. This is a preparation-based format. So there's a lot that can be done. And I actually think you mentioned this earlier on in the cast. There's a lot that can be done when you have a week to prepare for your opponent. When you can say, this is my map. And that can make up for a lot of MMR differential. I think I did a game last week where we saw a player win with like 1,000 MMR underdog.
Yeah.
This guy was, and it was just, he just went, and he had his perfectly tuned build to what his opponent did, and I mean, man, if you beat someone on ladder, if you beat someone 300 MMR higher than you, you feel good about yourself. 1,000? That is insane. That's a full league, right? That's a full league bracket.
Yeah, that's at least, if not more. Like, well, think about the difference between a 6K player and a 5K player, and that's not even that like pronounced. Like, it's a lot. It is a lot. But we are getting into game number 2 here, spawning up in the top right position of the map, representing the Hobbits, currently down 1-0 in this best of 5 clan war. It is Samwise. It belongs.
Yep, and his opponent in the bottom left, looking to take some Hobbits to Isengard in the orange. It's Firebats.
To Isengard, to Isengard.
Can we just throw that up as the background to this cast for like the 10-hour version?
That would be so great. If I wasn't
also,
sure we'd get DMCA'd.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, man, Yeah, that is one sad thing that with all the DMCA crackdowns, like the meme songs are that much harder to use. Like, you know, I've done some stuff where you throw the Red Army Choir up with the Soviet national anthem when you see see like
Yes.
the Zergling drone pull, and that's something I don't feel comfortable doing anymore.
Yeah.
There's things that make things funny and it works, but you know,
It's unfortunate. It's sad.
yeah. Did you see the thread going around Twitter and making it way a little bit further the other day about how casters should be or streamers should be paying games companies royalties on their streams?
Yes, I did see that. That was one of the funniest threads I've ever seen. A horrible take from the player, the individual. I felt really bad too because there was actually a misnomer that he was a member of the creative team of Stadia, Google Stadia, but it actually was the case that he was just a member of a company that had been bought out by Stadia. So it ended up just, you know, negative press for them for no reason, really. But I saw a really funny thing about that, and it was like basically saying that every day on Twitter there is a main character, and your goal should be to never be that person.
I mean, sometimes being the main character is a good thing because you said something really funny and people love it.
Oh, yeah.
But this is the main antagonist there, absolutely.
Yeah.
And, or an anti-hero maybe.
I would say
Interesting
antagonist.
jokes yeah. No, to be fair, he did have a point. As much as it was a bad one, but the game companies, they do have their right to crack down and to enforce their rights and say, no, you cannot stream this. It would be a terrible move.
Yeah.
For the company, as yeah, we do have a Baneling bust coming in here. We should probably talk about the game just a little. No game talk about. But yeah, with the Baneling nest coming in here and more Zerglings on the way, this is a slow Zergling Baneling bust.
Yeah, this is as committed as it gets, and there's already an Oracle. It's going to be out. He can have 2 Oracles by the time this gets across the map, basically.
Now, the one thing is this Adept is, well, it's sitting back close towards Samwise side of the map here, so it has not really been scouted. And is Firebat's giving up on this? I mean, he's taken a third as we have the slow march. Yeah, I don't think so. Not with how many drones there, but now we have the march of the Ents, or the Slowlings at the very least. Ents are slow, right? It works. Moving across the map. And speed will be done just about by the time this all ends.
Yeah, that's going to be a little bit awkward. Samwise is going to get into the natural, and he's going to pick off 5 drones right here. But I don't think he's sniffed this out still. There's no shield battery coming down.
Oracle. Oh no, it's Oracle's going the wrong way. For a moment, it looked like the second Oracle was just going to fly over the Zergling clump. But that is not. Oh, did it see it? No,
oh god, it just missed it.
Oh no. And now the Oracles, they're floating around, and they're going to do what they can. They're going to kill a lot of workers.
Yeah, the thing is,
they will kill a lot.
This could break through, and he could still lose the game because of these Oracles.
We do, however, have a Sentry. Sentry was warped in. Oh no, Sentry's out of the wall. Sentry's just going to go down. There's going to be no, it's going to go. Oh, he's still going to die.
But now, does he have enough time to warp in more units? He's going to recall the Oracle's very smart move, and that will allow him to go to town on this. No Sentry warped in.
No.
Oh, Samwise. Oh, only 6 probes actually going down.
That's actually not that bad, yeah.
Yeah, he's up 16 workers.
And yeah, I think he's totally fine here. As bad as that looks. I mean, he's going to go, 7 workers.
He only lost one additional.
One more could have gone down. But yeah, that's absolutely fine there. Was anything researched from the Twilight? No, there wasn't. There just is a Twilight on the map.
Yeah, Samwise is so insanely far ahead right now.
He's not behind. I would agree. One might even say that he has. He's done a good job in this game. We do have Zerglings once again, but there's a triple Adept walls. Those Zerglings, they're never going to find their way in. And now we're going to see a 24-worker Hydra bust.
Ew. It's like I'm watching No Regret.
I was going to say more like Starkiller. Starkiller has a 36 3-gas Zergling Hydra bust that he does against Protoss on occasion.
Oh my god.
No, maybe it's
It's
44.
so silly.
It doesn't work against the double Stargate Void Ray style that players were experimenting with for a bit. And honestly, that looked really good. I'm surprised we haven't seen it more.
Oh, it's so
maybe
strong,
Zergs
yeah.
On ladder have figured it out. Yeah, it looks real good. Whenever I see it on ladder, I die. But it doesn't work against that. But it does work. I mean, I have seen it work on occasion. As now we have the one Hydra on the way.
I feel like it would do better against the single Stargate into 3 Stargate because with the second Stargate, you just get your Void Ray production so quick and up and running. Meanwhile, this Void Ray has picked off 2 Overlords and pretty severely supply blocked Fire Bats. He's building 4 at a time. Going into a Spire now. That's not going to be all that helpful for him.
Yeah, I think we're...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're in this situation now where Fire Bats, like my all-in didn't work. And honestly, that was a weird all-in. Again, speed did not complete until 5 minutes. But anyway, his all-in didn't work. He's like, okay, where do I go from here? You know, I'm not in this. Okay, nice to the stage trap, but that will get pulled away from. So that's not going to do a whole lot. But yeah, he's in this situation where we're like, what do I go? I feel like I'm so far behind. I got to do something weird. I got to do something crazy. What is it? Is it Hydras? Is it a Spire? I don't think you go Hydras and a Spire. You just don't have the gas count for it. Could we see some sort of weird Corruptor Hydra attack?
I
don't think so.
I think it has to be for Mutas, but like he doesn't have the gas and he doesn't have the economy to get up to that gas count either. Like I don't know. I don't know. I'm confused.
Yeah. Ooh, nice run by here from Farbats. He tries to do what he can to equalize, but of course the shield battery is there. It will minimize the losses for the moment. Did we see anything out? Okay, yeah, charge is done, as is Storm. So Samwise's army, he's ahead in army supply, which is a Zerg you never want to see until like that late game when you really get those Lurkers and Vipers and those cost-efficient units. And on top of that, he's got worse economy, he's got worse tech, and Storm does really well against pretty much everything this Zerg has.
Yeah, there's no Lurkers, there's no... well, Lurkers. Lurkers are really the only thing that does very, very well against Storm.
Brood Lords.
That's true. That's true.
And actually, you know what's interesting? I don't know if you... Well, yeah, I think you've been more active playing the game than I have recently, but what I've started to see, I think Dark was the first one that I really started to see do this, was instead of going the kind of the Lurker Corruptor style we've seen take recently, he's going, okay, I'm going back to Broodlord Corruptor, or sorry, Corruptor, but my ground force, the thing to take care of the High Templar, are actually just going to be a bunch of Ultralisks.
Oh, wow.
Because they just get on top of things, and, you know, Corruptors, they just dive on top. It's fine. And the only thing that's really scares them is Archons and Storm. And, you know, Archons are good against Ultralisks, but High Templar are not. And you just don't tend to see that many Archons in that late game PvZ composition at the moment. Now, this Storm number 1's going to whip. Storm number 2 is kind of going to whip as well. And this is the best possible fight here for Firebats. The entire army of Samwise, it's going to fall apart.
Yeah, that was a really sloppy attack. A great set of defensive positioning from Firebats. Samwise, though, just walked right into a meat grinder. And, oh man, he's going to lose all of his High Templar. And now Target Fire on the War Prism will take it out. Charge Lots will be able to help out a lot, but the Queen's in the back. If he can transfuse... Oh, he's not going to be able to transfuse too effectively on these Hydras. Samwise, he's on 77 probes right now to 45 workers.
You know, it's the 45 drone Hydraling bust, except you bust when your opponent goes down the other side of the map. A-okay.
Defensive bust.
Exactly, defensive bust. Okay, so I don't know how many other esports you watch, but say in Dota, there's one of the commentators, Kyle, right? He likes to sing this song about not going up high ground with no vision. I would like to add the corollary where you don't go into a concave with no vision. Actually, you just don't go into a concave at all.
Yeah, just don't go into a concave. Don't go into a concave when you're up 30 workers.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily, it doesn't ring as well, you know, it's don't go up the high ground with no vision. And you're missing a stanza there. You're missing, you're missing a couple syllables, but it works. It's fine. And now, actually, Firebats is starting to get some damage done here. Only 3 workers dying at the moment. And we have no upgrades. or either side. I very easily could have Samurai could very easily have say +1, +2 ground by now, but it seems like that's not what he's interested in.
So yeah, crazily behind all of this, Firebats has now gotten up to a respectable worker count, and Samwise, well, he's going to be trying to go into carriers. Now, to speak to those upgrades, 1-1 is finally now on the way for Firebats. I don't have a problem with him delaying it as long as he did, because yeah, there was no way he could afford it. But
Yeah,
the fact that this is even a game is insane to me.
well, you also got to take a look at the banks here. Samwise very easily could be sitting at about 150, 160 supply. That would make it look like less of a game, but he's sitting here with this massive bank that looks like he's just pounding into carriers for the most part. And, at a certain point, Hydras are not all that great against carriers. You think, yes, Hydras, they attack quickly. They do a ton of damage. They should be able to deal with interceptors just fine, but there comes that point where there's just too many interceptors, and Hydras are too squishy, and everything just dies.
Yeah, that's a very sharp point, and because your army will disappear in about 6 seconds, and it's a very sad time. It's a very sad time.
Yeah.
That being said, Carapace versus the attack upgrades is a very, very important upgrade for that to take effect. So you really need that +2 or +3 on those carriers to take effect. But we're actually seeing no air upgrades, and that +1 Carapace is coming through for Firebats. That could potentially be a situation where maybe there's a 1 or even 2 upgrade lead for the Zerg player in terms of that anti-carrier defense.
So if we look at here, I touched on the banks for a second, where Samurai's had this massive bank, but look how much gas he's mining, right? Not only just now he's doing that, but he was not mining any gas from his main for a little bit. So sure, he had 4 bases, and that's kind of what you want when you're starting to support this Skytoss style. But really, realistically, he was only mining from 3 base gas, and as we look at that, like, he has this massive mineral bank, really lacking on gas. So he's not able to build himself up as much as he would like. And earlier we talked about what can Firebats do, right? How can he get back into this game? He doesn't really have power units. He's lacking lurkers. Well, the lurker den is now done. Hive is on the way. So maybe he's just gonna be sitting there and turtle.
Yeah, and I mean that's a good way to play it, I think. He's closing the distance in the supply. He has been behind pretty much this entire time, but the tech is going to favor him quite a bit if he can get up to that 2-2 and those lurkers and maybe a couple of Vipers to abduct carriers.
Yeah, it is at this point where oh, nice job there with the Dark Templar. There's no detection there for the moment. And now DT Blink's going to be done, so they should be able to get out if they're being controlled, as they're not being paid attention to at the moment, but still, they get a base. And the Protoss sitting in here up 1 base on the Zerg player, and that's not a situation you ever want to be in. But talking about spellcasters and things, remember, these are diamondish level players. I don't remember the level at which I started playing with spellcasters, but I don't think it was diamond 2 all that much. Anyway, whatever the case may be, what would have been really cool to see, actually, and I've seen this a little when we see Zergs that are just really far behind, they get to that Lurker Turtle style, is we see a couple infestors come out, because of course, what are they even called?
Microbial Shroud?
Microbial Shroud, there we go, yeah. Is actually a really good thing against carriers. It works surprisingly well. As the Skytoss army now sitting on the left-hand side, and again, you're attacking into a flank, but these storms are a whole lot better.
And the carrier count is going to be problematic to deal with. 2-2 is not yet done for the Hydras. Once it is done, those interceptors are going to become kind of impotent. Oh, drones are going down somewhere. Oh my god.
Bottom right,
oh,
yeah.
Geez, bottom right. That is a dead base, and, well, Firebats can't afford this at all. Not even a little bit.
I mean, yes and no. So, okay, you never want to lose base. You never. We have an engagement happening in the middle left, by the way. Firebat's doing his warping in, doing what he can, but those are going to be some massive storms, and there's just no detection here. The Zerglings are running around everything on the ground, but it doesn't matter because there's just nothing to watch. Now, eventually, we're going to see the Hydras do what they can to target that mothership core down, or the mothership down. But it's microing out. Okay, there we go. That actually, Firebat's going to take the fight, I guess, but at what cost, right? 22 workers go down. He's sitting here below 100 supply, and he has no gas.
And this is a war of attrition at this point. A little bit of a kind of like the British general Montgomery versus Rommel in North Africa right there, where Rommel just won every battle that they had, but Montgomery, he just kept having more stuff. And so every time they fought, it went in the favor of the German general. But in this particular case, we have Samwise, who just continues to rebuild these British tanks, and with British pluckiness and Protoss resolve, he is still up 50 supply right now.
Oh man, when we're using World War II references here about, you know, might versus, or I should say, quality versus quantity, and we're not talking about Russian tanks. I mean, what are we even doing?
What are we doing with our lives, folks?
I mean, sure, Rommel had a lot of Rommel had a decent amount of tanks, but I mean, look, how many T-34s were made in the? There were so many T-34s made that every movie that had a tank, for like the next 30 years, was just a reskinned T-34.
Yep.
Not even kidding. You see a Tiger in a movie, it's a T-34. You see any tank from any theater, maybe American tanks and American movies, you would see actually like a Sherman or something, but everything else, it was a Russian tank pretending to be something else.
And, well, we are having Firebats pretending to be alive in this game. He is still in it, but he is really far behind right now, and Samwise is starting to accrue a pretty healthy bank. You said it before, gas is not fantastic. Man, that's a lot of dead Zerglings for basically just a really expensive tour of that top left base. But yeah, this is just a matter of money and a matter of attrition at this point. Oh, and some of the lurkers getting found there. They almost take out a couple of High Templar, but not quite. And now these DTs, they are going to find this base once again.
Well, we do have +3 range done now, and +3 lurkers are a terrifying thing, but really it's not a question of that, it's a question of whether they'll be able to survive. Right, sure, you know, +3 lurkers, they're terrifying. Do we actually have any lurkers on the map? No, we don't. It is just
no.
Hydra Corruptor.
Oh, those storms! Oh, God!
And yeah,
my Zerg heart.
Everything storming their own army because it doesn't even matter. Samwise, the DTs do all the work. And there we have it, GG.
And Samwise the Brave. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, it's absolutely fine. I just saw your message on Twitch, or on Discord. So I believe I can actually answer to your question.
Can or cannot?
Oh, but I can, but it's already fixed.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
You just have to go into moderator view, which is this massive thing I never go into.
Yeah, I'm so not used to it. I did it for the earlier, but yeah. These games are not replay, they are live. And we are currently at 1-1 heading into one of the most exciting parts of the game, of the series, the 2v2s. 2v2s, always a treat to watch, and made even more so because of the funky maps we get in the CEA. And we're heading into efflorescence.
You know, it's
now,
interesting.
I was gonna say you've talked a little bit about your 2v2 knowledge. Let's have you flex a little bit. Drop a beat.
For whatever, yeah, you don't want me trying to drop a beat. I do not beatbox very well. But anyway, you talk about 2v2, and it's interesting because for whatever reason, I've had the opportunity to cast a decent amount of 2v2 games recently, both for the CEA, but also for the 2v2 community. There are a couple people that put on tournaments every week, and efflorescence is part of the map pool that one of those organizers use for the most part. But the big thing is this map has been banned out literally every game every series that I've had the opportunity to cast in those 2v2 matchups. At the highest level, people don't like to play it. And I'm not sure whether this is an imbalance issue or whether it's just too difficult to play with, whatever the case may be. But I actually know I've seen it once. I was able to cast a best of 7 with it. It was in the map pool, so we saw it there. Because the pool went to 7 games. But this is not a highly prized map in the 2v2 scene. I'm not totally sure why. I mean, it is a big map. It does have some defensive bases, and it has some really interesting valleys and canyons that go through the center of everything, which makes engagements hard. And I'm excited to see what our players do have spun up for us here. It is pretty common in the CEA to see teams that maybe they don't have the best 1v1 players, but they do play a decent amount of 2v2, and that's where they that's where they dedicate their preparation for. That's how we saw the University of Chicago take down the #1 University of California, San Diego, with Vindicta in their roster. Of course, Vindicta, he's a DreamHack player, right? He's a top tier North American player playing for Alpha X. So that is absolutely a route you can take, right? Where you find your niche. You say, okay, 2v2. It plays a lot different. We can see, I see players at the Masters-ish level, okay, which is good. It's not pro, but they're good. Take down these double pro teams all the time. Because they play 2v2 and the double pro team doesn't. So that is absolutely something we can see here, as we do have Wolfpack Techmeister representing our the Hobbits versus Watertop Firebats, which is one of NEU's that is one of their consistent duos. I believe they're I think they were 4 and 3 and 2 in 4 and 1, 3 and 2 in the Swiss stage.
Oh yes, they were 3 and 2. Unless you mean this particular team, in which case
no, I'm saying this particular Watertop Firebats team.
Oh, okay, yeah, I am not too sure about that one.
I did not, again, because of how this match worked out, I didn't have time to do a deep dive into the stats, but I believe that is the case. Anyway, Watertop Firebats have been playing 2v2 as a duo for pretty much the entirety of this season.
And we are just about to get on into this one. Spawning up in the middle right, representing NEU. Oh, wait, no. Yes, representing NEU. It tripped me up because I'm pretty sure he played Terran before. It is the Teal Protoss player, Watertop. And his ally, up in the top center, the Zerg player, Firebats.
And on the other side of the map, in the purple, give it up for Hobbits everywhere, it's Wolfpack.
Arf, arf.
And rounding us out in the red, he's a Protoss player as well. Give it up for Techmeister.
So this is the first time I haven't had the weird zoom bug.
Did you mouse scroll zoom?
I did not. I did the exact same thing I did before, and it just let me. So that's nice. Ooh, that's nice. Big fan of Community.
I am. I grew up under a rock. I had dial-up until I was like 14, and from ages like 12 to 17, I didn't have TV. Even now, going back home with satellite internet, it was a cell phone hotspot before then. So,
oof.
Actually, that's why I play Starcraft, because Starcraft, each game is about 26 kilobytes of data. It's SIPS data. So when you're sitting there on a data cap, Starcraft is just about the only game that you can play.
Very true.
Which is crazy, right? Because I got to high diamond on 700 milliseconds ping, and I don't know how I did it. I don't think I can do it again. But,
I think at this point it would be very difficult. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, well, I mean, this was 6 years ago. This was Middle Heart of the Swarm, back in like 2000. Well, 5 years. Yeah, so 2015 was when I was really at that high diamond stage, playing on 700 milliseconds. I was playing and beating masters on occasion. And then I went to college and got more knowledge, and also became worse at StarCraft. Because actually, it was crazy when we talk about that. I got to college, I got to actually having good internet, and I played so much worse for like the first month or two, right? Because you're so used to like having to deal with that delay, and then you don't have to deal with it. It was a really weird experience.
It's you become so consistently, man. I can't get over that. 700 milliseconds is so horrible. Like that is. I feel like that's like a war crime, you know? Like, that is just awful internet.
Well, it was satellite, so...
God damn. But the fact that you were able to have as much success as you were is a testament to your fortitude.
Yeah, well, you know what? I played Zerg, and up until the Masters, you don't need micro. You just be able to hit your macro cycles and set your engagement properly, and then do that 1A thing. After on your surround. So I guess it was fine there. I didn't have to micro in the middle of engagements as much. But it was rather interesting. I guess I was also very much helped by the fact that this was in the stage where you could you had rapid fire inject. If you remember that, where you could just kind of hit 2 buttons and buzz through everything and get your injects. Man, I missed that.
Right? Yeah. If you perfectly hit the keys at the exact same time, yeah, they would function like simultaneously, which was such an interesting stage. This is going to be a really big Baneling bust stalker push coming out of the Watertop Firebats team. And, well, yeah, it hasn't been scouted. There's no way to have scouted it, really. But what do we have on the other side of the map for Wolfpack and Techmeister? Not a whole lot.
Yeah, and now we're seeing this map and seeing what's going to happen here. It's pretty obvious why we do see this map banned out so much in 2v2. There's just such a wide open area in that natural. It's so hard to defend. And yeah, we know with Stalkers, the Banelings, they're going to go in. Wolfpack really not paying attention for the moment. He's the only one with really a decent supply here. Techmeister not doing all that great. And yeah, sure, there are some Void Rays on the way, but, well, a one Void Ray against the massive amount of stuff here, that's not a whole lot.
No, it is not.
Oh, no. This is one Void Ray, one Stalker, and that is it for our Akron team. And that is all they have.
Oh.
4 probes left for the red player. And sure, Wolfpack, decent supply for the moment. It's one Void Ray and one Zealot and 41 workers. And that's about it. Void Ray's going to go down. The Zealot's still alive, but there we have it. Techmeister, he's just going to leave the game. He says, I'm done. I'm dead. I'm going to leave it to my partner. Maybe he can make something happen. But now we're going to have Zerglings streaming their way in. And this is a high ground wall, but there we have it. The GG. NEU, they're going up 2-1.
Yes, and, well, we see the potency of that Watertop Firebats team really flex right there a little bit. Just absolutely overpowering their opponents. And, yeah, you spoke to it a little bit in that last game, but we saw it in living color there. The power of a Zerg on that map is just brutal to deal with. It is really, really difficult, and they didn't wall that kind of connecting area, and it just left them completely defenseless.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was the case. We're seeing, I don't know. Someone's saying that I still sound a little bit quiet, but I think we're probably good enough. I don't know. When I pull the stream up, it sounds good to me. But as we talk about whatever, things and things about audio issues and things that are not necessarily StarCraft, we are moving on to this fourth map of, this fourth map of the series, and I don't believe any swaps have been used, correct?
I don't think so. Let me double check that real quick. Yeah, I don't believe so. Oh, no. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, you know what? They did originally swap one of the maps, and then I think they undid this. No, yeah, they swapped map 2. Yeah, they swapped map 2 to Jagannatha.
Okay, yeah, there we go. Shame we don't get to see Blackburn again. That's a pretty cool map. But what that does mean, that makes me a little bit sad, because map 4, the second 2v2 map, the alternate map is a map I'm familiar with. So I can talk about it a little bit more. I have no idea how Reclamation plays. I mean, we can take a look at it. So we are going into our second 2v2 matchup. Should NEU win, they just win the series. And NEU is one of those teams that does focus on 2v2. More so than 1v1. That's how they've gotten a lot of their wins. Not through ace match wins, but just through going 2-0 in 2v2. But this map Reclamation, it has a relatively easy to take double natural. Actually, this reminds me of a map that's fairly common in the 2v2 scene. And I'm blanking on what it's called.
That is a good question. Can you just join the lobby? There we go. Perfect.
Yeah, there we go. I didn't see a lobby link, so, and I was thinking about maps, so I failed to join off you.
No worries. No worries. Can you actually join the CEA channel as well? Yeah, they're in both. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what the original map was. Or, well, to be honest, my strength definitely does not lie in 2v2 map knowledge. It's very easy to look at it and be like, yes, they share a base. This will be much easier to deal with Zerg. Or, they don't share a base. This map was made before 2016.
So,
very simple to see.
The map I'm thinking of, by the way, is Emerald City. That does have that. The bases and the bases are not shared in Reclamation, but they are shared in Emerald City. But that's the big difference. The natural looks very similar, where you have those two base positions right next to each other, and then there are 2 entrances that can be easily walled. Now, Emerald City, Terrans love it when dealing a 2v2. So having Terrans on that team makes them pretty happy. It's pretty easy to move around, easy to get your sieged up positions properly. So that is why you do see that map not banned out all that often. It's pretty common, pretty standard. And once you move up the right hand side, there's just a whole lot of stuff, kind of like Lightshade. Was it Lightshade? The 1v1 map of the current ladder pool. That's not what we quite see here, but that natural position. What this does mean it's going to be rather easy for both of our teams to take their naturals, take their thirds. After that, it gets a little bit shady, a little bit sketchy.
Yeah. It's still going to be a little bit tricky to deal with a Zerg player on this map, potentially, but nowhere near as bad as it was on the other map there.
Absolutely.
And, well, we are getting into game number 4 here. Looking to bring things to an ace match. It is the team from the Hobbits. Give it up for, spawning in the bottom right, the purple Protoss player, Samwise, the Brave. Ah, the glitch is back. Perfect. And spawning to his left, the Zerg player, the big dog in this one. It is Wolfpack.
Oh, that was terrible. I love it. Here we go on the other side of the map, on the upper left, in the teal, looking to take his team to an ace match. We've yet to see him, but I'm looking forward to see what we get. In the teal, it's Max Inferno. There we go. Hey, you know what? If you don't mention the bug, it just looks like you're trying to do some really cool camera work, and it works out totally fine. And his partner, in the red, he's the player for Akron as well. For Akron as well. Give it up for Watertop. I'm sorry. What am I saying? They're 2-1. They're not trying to go to the ace match. This is the NEU team. You have me doing the same thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
What is up here?
I was just savoring that. That was the first time you've made a mistake. It's been me every time before that, so I just had to enjoy that a little bit.
Not there to save me at all. Now it is interesting when we talk about things that are out of the game for the moment. Samwise, someone said his clan profile tag looks really cool, and I would agree. So Samwise repping the colors of the CSO, which is a Russian tournament organizer. That they run tournaments pretty much. They're running a tournament right now, actually. I believe it's
Oh wow.
But they run a decent amount of tournaments. It's hard to sign up for them necessarily because it happens, at 7 in the morning or something, or early or late at night. And their website is in Cyrillic, but they're doing a good job of keeping that the Russian scene going. So massive shout out to them. Ooh, Rich Vespine. That is looks like these teams have scouted this map out. I don't know if you want to take a third that quickly though.
Yeah, that is extremely fast in a 2v2.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred to see maybe a proxy natural go there. Right?
Yeah, especially since they didn't worker scout, so they don't know whether their opponent has gone for, double quick expand, which fortunately for them, they have. And we are going to be seeing Wolfpack going for a quick Evo as well. Sorry, go on.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I think there's a quick, a decent meta play that you can make here that, first of all, the naturals are pretty easy to defend. So you're going to see opponents want to take advantage of that. And secondarily, it's a double Terran team. And when I see double Terran a lot, I don't see a lot of all-ins. Most 2v2 all-ins I see, they have a Zerg component in there, whether it's TZ, PZ, or ZZ. Actually, I got to see a lot of double Zerg all-ins last night. We had Spy and Starkiller.
Oh, yeah. I could imagine.
Oh, that was all over the place. And actually, yeah, the one ZZ we saw 2 weeks ago, I think. It was a 2v2. We saw a double Nidus all-in. That was pretty cool. But again, Zerg is a good hallmark of an Zerg teams, or teams with a Zerg in them, tend to be that more all-in team. And actually, I think that's what we're going to see here is Wolfpack. He's got +1 range going in real fast.
Yeah, that is very quick. A little bit surprising. Nice Adept will deny this bunker from being built. Going to be taking out that SCV. Very annoying. And now a couple of lings will show up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a little... Oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, this is a little bit premature, though. Speed is not done yet. So now the Zerglings, this is just a pressure move at the moment. This is saying, hey, be afraid. Maybe build some extra static defense. You don't need to. But I don't think we're going to see our double Terran fall into that trap too much. I mean, we have tanks. One tank is here, as you so elegantly point out. We have a ton of tanks on the map. So pushing into this position is going to be nigh impossible, at least for the moment.
Yeah, and ooh, look at that cloaked Banshee coming down. Now, I wonder if we'll see this quick gas used for... man, well, yeah, I just don't know. One would definitely expect roaches, but...
Ooh, we have a...
I don't know. A witch?
Oh, we have a fusion core on the way now for our Banshee playing red player. So what is this? This is Banshee into double starport. So wait, so does Banshee speed, does that currently need fusion core, or was that removed?
I don't believe it needs fusion core anymore, actually. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure this will just be something like that. But this is going to be a lot of aggression coming out of Samwise.
Yeah, so GX Alpha is telling me that they are South African. Yeah, they don't have a website. So maybe it's just that they host their tournaments on a Russian website, because I absolutely have been sent links to their tournaments and everything. The tournament page, whatever it is in Russian. So not really sure what's up with that. But do we have speed? Do we have charge? We do. So this is we're gonna see a roach charge all in coming in here from our purple and red, or purple and blue team. I know what colors are, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get anything done. I mean, realistically, look how locked down this is, right? There are thin chokes, and there are tons and tons of tanks.
Well, the only thing I will say is that if he can drop a couple of zealots on top of the tanks as he gets in there, this is actually going to be really difficult to deal with and to defend. There is, just now, we're seeing Hellions come in, and... well, Zealots, they just get right on top of opposing tanks, and that is exactly what's happening right here.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Actually, yeah, this is just the Protoss killing 2 Terrans. Sure, battlecruisers are on the way,
Oh
but
my God.
slow, and they're not doing enough in the they're not going to be able to do enough in the slightest. And now we have the roaches on the way. The Banshee is doing good work on top of that third base. Was able to kill off the extra Vespene there, but still, roaches and stalkers and zealots. Oh my, zealots in every mineral line.
And yeah, you said it best. The Protoss kind of just killed both Terrans right there. He just swarmed in with those charge lots, and neither player was prepared. Not enough defenses, and this is not a wall. This is a deadly choke point for SCVs, is what it is.
Yeah, you know what's a scary thought? The SCVs in the red mineral line were able to actually kill off all of the zealots, and you know that's a bad thing, because there was like 6 zealots in there. And that says how many SCVs there were before those zealots got there and how few there were afterwards. And yeah, there's nothing there in the moment. But the roaches, they're taking out the red Terran. The Protoss, he's taking out the teal Terran. And yes, we have some battlecruisers out now. And battlecruisers are scary things, don't get me wrong. But battlecruisers are not all that great against stalkers. And that is just so many SCVs that are just running back and forth, doing their best. Max Inferno on 1 supply.
Yeah, this is all but over right now. The only thing they have to worry about is, as you said, those battle cruisers. And well, there will be a third one eventually joining up, but I think that's probably going to be it. And well, no, they're not gonna stick around, and wisely so. That was over. GG will get called, and we're going into game number 5.
That, you know what, if Akron can say, look, we don't win a single game in the Swiss bracket, that realistically, if you're gonna get a chance to go to playoffs regardless, doesn't matter all that much. And if they're gonna take a win against a team that almost qualified for a guaranteed playoff spot, that's gonna be a massive upset for them. Now, we don't know who the ace players are gonna be yet. We don't know anything about that. But even putting themselves in this position is incredible for them.
Yeah, and I gotta give a shout out to Samwise. He has really kind of, or they have really carried their team quite hard. They won They won the 1v1 and then kind of soft carried in the 2v2. So we're seeing them really come to bat, and they will, in fact, be the ace player for their team. And so it is going to be Watertop versus Samwise. And I believe both the players that won their respective matches. Wait, no. Oh, Watertop. No, Watertop did not play in the 1v1s.
Didn't Watertop? I thought Watertop did play.
I think Watertop played both 2v2s.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah, and it was Blue Marble and Firebat that played the 1v1s.
That is correct. For some reason, see, Blue Marble and Watertop, to me, that sounds very similar because, Earth is a blue marble, it's topped by water. There we go.
That's, easy peasy right there. And we are getting into what a fun name for this map to finish things out here. It is Bamboozle. Wait, is that right? Is that right?
It is.
It is Bamboozle, yeah. What an incredible map.
How many boozles can you bam?
Hopefully enough to get you through the day.
Yeah, I don't know. That's do I need to rephrase that one? That is that TOS issues right there?
Monka TOS.
Exactly. But yeah, so Watertop, Samwise, the best player for each respective team. And again, man, Akron poised on the precipice of history, or at the very least, the precipice of winning a series for the first time in their young CEA season. Well, did they play in the spring? Or was there Collegiate in the spring?
I don't believe there was Collegiate in the spring. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure this is the first go of things for Collegiate for the CEA.
Yeah, I think so. You can look back and look at the history for the corporate version, but
yeah,
you can't do that for the Collegiate. So yeah, I think this is the first time. So hey.
Yes, I believe that this is kind of like a bit of a pilot program. They're trying out all their funky stuff on Starcraft and going from there.
Well, you know what? I am here for being a guinea pig because we get to see some really cool games that we really would not be able to see anyways. And you know what? I really do like this advent of adding 2v2 in this best of 5 for maybe a less competitive league. Now that's not to say that, or I should say, a league with higher skill variance.
Yes.
Because again, 2v2 it's that great equalizer. You can be, I don't know, you can be probably not a gold player, but you can be a diamond player and partner up. And I've seen some incredible upsets in 2v2s, or upsets if we go by 1v1 rankings.
Yeah.
So,
but
it's nice to see that equalizer in there.
Oh, it really is. And as you said before, it really kind of made the difference in the matches with Vindicta. A very, very surprising result, but a cool one. And, well, we are going to get into it here, spawning down on the bottom left. It's everyone's favorite Hobbit. It is the best companion out there. Give it up for the Purple Protoss, Sam, representing the Akron Hobbits.
And his opponents in the upper right, in the red, at the top of the world, it's Watertop. For the NEU Beantown Bronze. There we go. I remembered their name. I did not mess up this time. I'm learning, Steadfast.
It's learning. I know the feel. I know how that goes. It is so easy to just get crossed up because there's just so much to think about. You're like, oh, okay, I have to keep pushing words out of my mouth hole. And while you're doing that, you're trying to think of other stuff too. Like what's actually about to happen in the game, what the score is in the series, what the implications of this win are. You know, did I remember to put on deodorant this morning? There's just so much to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is, what's even worse is specifically when I've been casting these 2v2 tournaments, you have a lot of players, Practice X, for example. His name in game is not Practice X. I think it's Forever X right now. A month ago, it was Milk Tea Boba X.
Yep.
Or whatever. And you're like, yeah, or Ghostly Swarm goes by Glow or in game, and you're just like, I'm looking at this and I'm trying to remember who's called what, and also trying to talk and figure things out. And 2v2 is harder to track than 1v1 because you have 4 players playing, so you gotta fights are happening all over the place, and you're just like, blah, 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 blah. Let me spew words and hopefully something cogent, something that makes sense comes out.
That's what always ends up happening to me is I mess up and end up not really realizing that players have swapped names. That's what gets me more than anything. Is I'm like, okay, this person is this and this person is that, but what team are they on? Like my brain is just overwhelmed by the concept of trying to do 3 things. It's like, well, you can do 2 things just fine, but if you introduce that 3rd thing, oh boy, you sure are gonna stumble.
Yeah, exactly. Well, multitasking is not a thing.
Exactly.
Okay, like what? 3% of the population? At heart, what are called super taskers that can actually do 2 tasks at the same time. But for the rest of us, it's just doing 2 tasks sequentially more poorly.
Yes.
And we're getting yelled at here because apparently we've been pronouncing Akron wrong this entire time.
Oh, it is Akron.
Yes, it is Akron, not Akron. So.
Okay.
No offense intended, Mr. Wolfpack.
Admiral
And
Akron Bar.
Yes. Okay. So the Hobbits, representing Admiral Akbar, getting ready to do what they can to actually take their first series win of this entire tournament. That's going to be exciting, potentially. Now, we should probably talk about the... I don't know. No need to talk about the game just yet. Nothing interesting happening.
I mean, I'd prefer not to talk about the game. Like, did you know that Peaky Blinders is a show?
I have heard of it. I've never seen it because, again, I grew up under a rock.
Yeah, neither have I. I just remember that for the longest time, Tasteless and Artosis, while they were casting GSL, they always talked about this show, Peaky Blinders, and I had no idea what it was, but they were just absolutely in love with it. I guess it was one of the few shows that they watched over there in Korea, but yeah, I have no idea what it's even about.
It's about Peaky Blinders, can't you tell?
Well, yeah, you gotta peek around those blinders.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so talking about maybe something a little bit more Starcraft related, as we do have a Dark Templar attack, or Dark Templar attack coming up here for Samwise. Most likely, this is just going to be an Archon drop, as I believe what we have another gate on the way. Yeah, so it's going to be up to 3 gates. There we go. That makes all kinds of sense. But yeah, that's all we need to talk about that for the moment. Did you see any bit of the GSL from last night? Did you caught up on those VODs?
I have not had the opportunity to check that out just yet. Yeah, not too sure. I assume the matches were pretty explosive.
It was Maru versus Armani, and they weren't all incredible, but game 5, my goodness, was perhaps the greatest TVZ I've seen in quite a while.
Oh wow.
If you like the rest of them, doesn't really. I didn't see games 1 through 3 because I was casting the 2v2 cup, but game 5, yeah. If you watch one game from that series, it's that game. It was incredible.
Sounds good. Definitely check it out. We do have Samwise really staying on top of his worker production, by the way, up to a nice saturation on 2 bases. Definitely in a good position, but we do already have Watertop with that double Spore Crawler coming up in the main and natural. Layers almost done. No Spore Crawler at the 3rd just yet, and that could actually translate into some problems for him. Where is that War Prism?
Well, what do you think about it? Oh, actually, the Zerglings will go and they'll see the War Prism, I think, but they're just going to run by. Lair is done, so it's not the whole situation of, oh no, I have a delayed lair. Oh, actually, they're going to try to get in, and we'll force a DT to warp at home, which means no Archon. It's only going to be 1 Archon for the time being. And, well, the DT warping at home actually tells about the tech as well.
Oh, and he went home. Oh,
yes,
man.
He did.
He actually had an opportunity to get something done at the 3rd base. Overseer was not done, and Spore Crawler was not done as well. Of course, he didn't know that, but that's why you have to hit those timings so sharply.
Absolutely. Now, what I was going to say, or generally you see it's either Spores or if past Lair. This time, Watertop is going both, but what that means is even with the lack of a Spore at the 3rd base, the DTs are not going to be able to get a whole lot done because now you have detection as evidenced here. But I mean, honestly, it's a DT. It's DT drops. You're doing what you can. to make sure that for them to get something done. But Archons, I mean, once you buy the DTs, the Archons are free. So you just morph in afterwards, assuming you warp them in a proper position, and they will be able to survive there. Watertop doing a great job of fending this off.
Yeah, and now that he's kind of bruised up those shields of the potential Archons, he's going to build a bunch of drones here. This is a nice little find. We'll pick off single Overlord for free. But, yeah, this is not a lot of damage. But, wow, we're going to be seeing Watertop going for a 2-base all-in with... Or, sorry, Samwise going for a 2-base all-in with this. He is going up to a bunch more gates as well as a Templar Archives, and no third Nexus is in sight.
Well,
wow.
It's a late third, though. So the way the math, yeah, I was going to say, Steadfast, he's got a probe there. He's thinking about something. But the way this math works out when you're looking at a Protoss player is if they take their fourth base at, their third base at like 4 minutes, maybe 350 if it's Stargate opener, but 4 minutes, okay, they're being really greedy, right? They're doing what they can. They're just trying to power into that mid game as fast as possible, as powerful as possible. If they take it by 4:45, that's normal, right? They're going to be okay. If they take it anytime after 5 minutes, they really have to get some tremendous damage done in some way, shape, or form to justify that delayed third base. For the most part, I mean, there are some outliers where you go like 3 Stargate, Void Ray, or Phoenix or something, and then that's what you're doing. You establish map control, and you take a late third. But for the most part, you do have to get some damage done. And I'm not convinced that Samwise has been able to get done what he needs to at this point. But this is a fast storm.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it is. You know what? Estrella actually did a build similar to this on Submarine. He went for a very, very heavily committed tech on 2 bases, and it ended up working really, really well for him because his opponent all-in. But this is not a scenario where the Zerg is all-in. This is a scenario where the Zerg has dealt with the DT pressure and just gotten himself into a really nice economic position.
Yeah, now Samwise, he's just happy with his third base. There is no attack coming in off of this. Not really. I mean, the War Prism is doing a good job, and that Archon just floating around when you don't have much anti-air is the most annoying thing in the world. So it is getting good damage done there, shaving off Overlords, Roaches, drones on the occasion. But I mean, still Watertop. He's at 71 workers. He has his Lurker Den just about done. More and more Hydras coming out here, and he is going to have that's going to be an incredibly difficult army to attack into. And Samwise, he's not really doing that thing where you say, okay, I'm going to turtle at home, maybe I'm going to take stuff, and I'm just going to say, oh, no. Take a look at the supply number for Samwise here.
Oh, that is a bad supply block, and he is on 2,700 minerals.
Yeah, this has been a supply block for a while, as I just saw chat say something about Akron, or someone from Akron saying something about being a supply block, too. So I think this has been a 2-minute-long supply block. And he's only just now going to realize that he tries to warp in.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
He just built it. That was one of the longest supply blocks I have seen in a very long time. He cannot push into this now.
Oh, that being said, I mean, Storm is powerful, and there are no Lurkers yet. So if he gets the Storms on the Hydras properly, that's not the Storms.
Oh, he actually storms his own sentries and Archons.
Yeah. Wait, do we have any? Okay, those Storms are going to be a little bit better. Actually, they're going to be a whole lot better. But that's the last Storm. Now we do have a couple of Lurkers getting warped in here, and we're going to see the Protoss army is going to do what it can. And yeah, look, they're not supply blocked anymore because everything is dying. And unfortunately, it looks like Samwise, maybe it's a little, he was falling to the pressure just a little. He played great in the first 1v1 we saw. He played great in the 2v2, but now he's sitting here in this ace match, and that 2-minute-long supply block or longer absolutely has hamstrung him in this game number 5.
Oh, it really has, and still floating a ton of minerals right now. Needs to be just, spamming static defense or spam it, like build a new base, like just spend the money. Because right now he is in a really, really rough position. He is down 70 army supply after having lost that entire army.
Well, he does have Stargates on the way. So it looks like we're starting to see some more buildings, some more static defense coming in here. There is the option that he's just able to maybe turtle enough with enough storms, with enough static defense, and get into that carrier tech that is so good against, we have critical mass, that is so good against what Watertop has. But again, Watertop, he's sitting here double the supply of his opponent. He has better tech. For the moment, he has Lurkers, he has all this thing he needs. The one thing he doesn't have, as I say that, Hive on the way. cast a curse, right? We've both been doing it in this series.
Yep. Ooh, speaking of unfortunate things he doesn't have, only has 2 drones on this one gas, and we can see there's quite a bit of difference in terms of gas mined. Of course, he probably mined this one first, but still, that's quite a bit of gas that he's missing out on. But that's a small nitpick, to be honest. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say for a good portion of this game, Samwise has been mining more gas than Watertop, despite Watertop being up a base. So that's we have that, and we do have now the Zerg is gonna do what he can to try to get in. Good job getting on top of those Zerglings, killing some of them off, or at least doing damage before the attack happens. But again, these lurkers, they're not all that great yet. Those storms are gonna be the best possible storms. In all honesty, these storms are just melting everything.
Oh my god, they really did. That was the worst possible position for Watertop to walk up into, right up on that ramp, and the storms just covered everything. Oh, he accidentally just killed his own lurker. Oh no. Watertop. Well, are there any storms left? Not quite. Just has enough energy for one more storm. And Samwise is desperately trying to hold on. He can still make a game out of this.
Yeah, he just needs more production at this point as he sits here with a massive bank. But these storms are what he needs. That storm is going to be really good. Once again, it's only lurkers left. And when you have enough charge out of mortal, this can absolutely get cleaned up here.
Oh, don't turn around. Go for it. He can walk right over this. Oh man.
No, he has no detection.
Oh god, that's why.
It's only the cannons, yeah. Carriers on the way.
Damn, if he had detection, he would have walked those lurkers right over. Storm's coming down once again, hammering these Hydras.
And you know what, Samwise, he's doing an incredible job of holding this. And as this happens, take a look at the supply. It is getting closer and closer. He was down double the supply. Now he's only down 40. And granted, that's in part because he's up in workers. So eventually, if he's able to keep trading like this, and again, these trades have not been cost efficient for Watertop. Because if Samwise is able to keep trading like this, there is a world where he does come back in here, where he gets enough carriers, where maybe he gets +1 on the carriers. He just hits his storms well enough. And he does things. What do we have? Do we have any carriers on the map? Not yet. The first 3 are about to pop.
Yes, they are.
3 carriers. Go ahead.
They do not. Yeah, they do not shy against Hydras, especially with no Carapace out on the map. Oh, that's unfortunate though. Nothing in the wall. Oh, a little bit of a flanky dank, but no detection still.
Yeah, as if they can get if there's another storm that goes on top of these Hydras, the carriers can absolutely clear everything up. But no, we have Samwise really forced into a terrible situation because of this nice positioning here from Watertop. And now there are no interceptors left. Sure, the carriers exist. Sure, they're powerful. Sure, they make up a decent amount of army supply and all that jazz, all these wonderful things. But as interceptors come out one by one, there's just not enough critical mass. And the Hydras are going in. The lurkers, they found a position on top of the fourth base. The natural does just go down. And there we have it. NEU, they're going to take it 3-2.
What a nail-biting finish right there. It really looked like Samwise was starting to gain some defensive traction there and hold on. But Watertop, just a little bit too potent, was able to secure that match. And as you said, win it for NEU, but a nail-biting one.
Yeah, a couple more storms like what we saw in the attack onto the fourth base. And honestly, I think that Samwise suddenly goes into a lead in that game. And unfortunately, we can talk about what happened in the late game and how he almost pulled it back, but the story of this game was just how long that supply block was. Apparently, it was only a minute. It was not 2 minutes. So I was a little bit incorrect there, but just that massive supply block as he wanted to hit his timing. Well, when you can't reinforce and you just cannot build that army you want, it becomes rather problematic.
Yes, it does. And, well, he was not able to at all. A very, very close one. And that was actually the captains for both teams.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty cool if you're looking at the post-game chatter here. This was Samwise's, this was actually Akron's first overall ace match that they've played in the entire CEA. So I definitely don't blame them for, you know, maybe struggling with nerves a little. As, well, hey, look, if this is the first time you've ever done this, yeah, you're going to have some nerves. It is a adrenaline producing moment to be in there, to go in as the ace player for your team.
Yeah, no, it was like you said, we've talked about it a few times, but even when there's not all that much on the line, when you know that your team is counting on you, there is such an added level of pressure. And some of the greatest players of StarCraft 2, of esports in general, and of sports in general, are the players that just don't care. Like Stefano, he is one of the most unfazed players you will ever meet. He does not, he'll lose a game and he'll be like, just does not faze him. But then you have players like Idra, who are like so well known, and Petit Drogo, so well known for just really feeling the stress, feeling the pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's actually interesting we talk about stress here. I'm going to put Cyril in that category more and more now. As again, he was the best player in the world for about 3 years, and he's still very good.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you watch his webcams when he loses, but he is really starting to let that pressure get to him more so than anything else. I mean, he just head in his hands, everything. You see the tweets afterwards. Man, I'm terrible. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just going to agree. Go on.
Yeah. So it's interesting is we talk about being in pressure because your team wants you to win, but what's also interesting is to see how success can affect different players. Now we talk about Stefano. He was on top of the world for a while. Now he's not. He just doesn't really care. He's gonna get as much. He's gonna get the prize money that he can, do as well as he can. But he's not a full-time player anymore. But when you have that expectation of being the ace or being a really good player, and suddenly you lose, and you keep losing, or maybe the gamers are closer than you, but like even if you do win, that pressure can really compound itself. Can almost be tilt-inducing. Being good can also almost be this tilt-inducing factor, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it really can. Like the pressure, and I didn't want to bring it up because like I have been feeling that a little bit, and you never want to bring that curse on the goat. But it does feel like that is the case a little bit, and he's really kind of getting in his own head a little bit. But we are going to get into a quick post-match interview with first Samwise. And hopefully we'll get into an interview with Watertop as well afterwards. So we're just going to let you go for a moment, but we will bring you back in a couple of minutes.
Sounds good. Have a great interview.
Thank you. Awesome. So we are just going to give the gentleman Samwise a call.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Good to have you on. Why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
What was that?
Oh, sorry. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, sure. Yeah, so I'm Sam Weiss. I'm the captain of the Akron team. I was also informed by my teammate that it was being mispronounced on stream a little bit, so just for the record, it is Akron.
That's what I thought, but BeoMulf went with Akron, and I just kind of went with it from there. So just gonna throw him under the bus real quick,
Right. Yeah, so I'm a Diamond 2 Protoss player from NA, also Diamond with the other races, and also a novice caster. So I have some stuff on YouTube, but my computer doesn't like streaming live, so I can't do Twitch right now.
Feels bad. Cool. So obviously, welcome. That was a really close game. Really, really well done. Why don't you talk a little bit about Akron's, I guess, program? The community, the team. Just tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Okay, so yeah, it's interesting because it actually took me like a semester or so to even find the esports community. So we have a Discord channel, and I ended up finding it through our the newsletter of the university at one point. I believe it was the spring semester. So, and then got connected with a bunch of gamers. We don't have a lot of StarCraft players, mostly the 5 of us that are on the team. So, and we tend to be a bit lower ranked. I know there's a lot of teams that have like masters and stuff. So we just decided we were mostly coming to play for fun because we're not going to win a lot of matches. In fact, we haven't won any yet, but so far we're enjoying it, and especially this week was really fun having this is our first ace match, so it was a lot of fun.
That was a really good one, and it was really cool. Oh, there we go. Webcam is now up. It was really cool to see that and to see you guys kind of come out a little bit, I guess, as a team, just kind of show up. That was
Yeah.
really incredible to see.
I'll also give credit to the system that was set up for the tournament. I like how, like, following the season with the Swiss bracket, now it seems like we're seeded against teams that are closer to our level, so that's really cool.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Swiss, and it is pretty cool too, because now it's kind of its own bracket too. So your record, in a sense, is kind of scrubbed clean, I believe. So it's a little bit like you can still make playoffs, for example, with
Nice.
a solid shot. And I think you guys definitely showed today that that's a very real possibility. Now you mentioned it's mostly just the five characters on your team. Is there anyone who's kind of like an in-game leader or organizes scrims? Is that you, or is there someone on the team that kind of takes care of that?
Yeah, I'm the captain, and so I do most of the organization, like the lineups and such. We haven't been very good at scrims just because we're all busy with the fall semester of school,
Of
and
course, yeah.
for me, like other Starcraft stuff as well, with my clan community and whatnot. So, which I think that probably hurts us a little bit as a team. Like we don't get the 2v2 practice that would probably be valuable, but
Yeah, no, the 2v2, if you can get specifically the team you've gone against, they've experienced a lot of their success because of the 2v2. Like ending up, I don't think there's been a week where they've lost both 2v2s, and I think probably 3 or 4 of the weeks where they've gone 2-0 on the 2v2s, and that's where a lot of their success has gone
that's awesome.
or come from. Yeah. But is there? Do you want to shout out that other community that you're a part of a little bit?
Yeah, so I'm part of the clan Chaos Spec Ops, or CSO. So we're a community. We have a Discord, and they run like weekly tournaments, basically alternating between an open tournament for any players, bronze to GM, or on the other weeks, it's a rank cap tournament capped at 3,300 MMR. So it'd be basically lowest diamond and platinum and below. So it's really cool if you want to get some games in, playing some tournaments, get a little bit of experience that way. And the tournaments, they have a match arena partnership, so there is a little bit of prize money for each one, which is also really cool.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Yeah, I think links are permitted. Definitely link that in the stream if you'd like.
Okay.
If not, I'll post it with the thing. And yeah, that's really cool though. Obviously, a relatively new addition to StarCraft 2, like as like a competitive thing. This was your first ace match. Do you have any goals for the season? Obviously, the first one is win a match, but getting to that ace match and coming very close. You really made it look very close at the end. Is there anything you're looking forward to doing moving forward?
Yeah, I think as far as this season goes, for CEA, I think the goal is probably, well, our goal coming in was mostly to get a little bit of experience and have fun. So yeah, winning a match would probably be just the goal for starters. If we win a match, then maybe we can talk about other goals.
There you go. One step at a time. I like it. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on. Super enjoyable to cast your matches. It was a lot of fun. Is there any other shout outs you want to give before I let you go?
I think I shouted out everybody I can think of. So
Fair enough.
thanks for
Awesome.
having me.
Well, thank you for joining us and have a wonderful afternoon.
Thanks. You too.
All right, that was Steadfast, the captain of the Akron Hobbits, and really had a fantastic match between these two teams. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing more of their stuff. Really great attitude, and you love to see it. Awesome. So we are just going to give a call to Watertop, the captain of NEU. Oh, awesome.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome back.
Hey, thanks. It's good to be here.
It is good to have you once again. Still got your roommate in the background. He's a
He
permanent fixture.
played this week, you know. It was
Hey,
Max
very good.
Inferno. That was game 4. I want to forget about game 4, but you know that's okay.
Yeah, that was crazy. That charge lot all in caught you guys super off guard.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's talk about in general. First of all, it was a good, really great match actually between everybody. Just a really exciting one. You guys just narrowly, I think it must have been a couple of tiebreakers, just narrowly missed out on the like upper tier. That's obviously that's a little bit rough, but you guys still had a really solid showing this week against a team that looked hungry. And did you guys go into this one? Because obviously you looked at the record, you were like, yeah, 0-5, maybe a little bit of an easier match. Did you guys go into this one a little bit maybe overconfident, or was it just kind of what was the mindset going into this one?
Well, I kind of know what Veritas must have felt when they were going up against us last game. You casted us. I wanted to give the other teams on my other people on my team a chance to play 1v1s, and we thought, you know, look at the record, it's like, okay, it's a good chance, we'll be okay. It got closer than we thought, but it was a lot of fun, and I'm really happy people got to play more 1v1s. I kind of stepped aside, except for the ace and the 2v2s. So yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that it's unfortunate we didn't get into the top 4. Actually, I think it's pretty good that we didn't quite make it because I mean, I think we would have been crushed basically every week if we made it to the top 4. So I'm glad we actually are in the lower division, to be honest.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there's some frightening teams up there.
Yeah.
The UCSD, UCI, University of Chicago, they're all really, really terrifying teams with a lot of really good players. But it made for a really exciting match this week, especially against that. What are your thoughts on a little bit of the reset in terms of your records and kind of having to re-earn, I guess, a strong record?
Well, to be honest, we got really lucky. Basically every other game we played this tournament. So I'm excited. I'm a little bit worried, but we're all having a lot of fun. Yeah, we're excited for more games. Hopefully make it. I don't know.
I think you guys have a pretty solid shot.
Yeah.
Akron definitely came out swinging, but you barely managed to take them down, which was good, which was a really exciting result. What is your guys' goal then, I guess, for the second stage?
I guess we want to just make it into the top of this sort of bracket. I think overall, I mean, last time you asked us, I just said we were gonna play for fun, but now we got a few tastes of victory. I think I'll take like top 6, top 5.
6?
I don't know. That seems reasonable. We'll see what happens. I might jinx it now, but I don't know.
Well, I know the feeling exactly. Once you've got that taste for victory, nothing compares to that, especially an ace match victory. That is like it's literally like a drug. Like it just courses through your veins, and yeah, it's a really exciting feeling.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be looking for that once again, trying to maybe send it to an ace match so you can try and chase that high once again?
Well, that depends on. Well, if we do go into ace matches, then I'm going to say yes. That's our strategy to purposely take to the ace match. Yeah, I'm just going to say that because I don't know how well we're going to do.
There you go. So you'll answer when afterwards. That's smart.
After.
Just pre-record your answers and then roll them right away, so it looks like it was the whole time. You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Very smart. Awesome. Is there anyone you want to shout out this week? Anyone on the team who you know you were like, oh man, you guys really pulled it together? Anyone that you want to just publicly shame? Just be like, no, you're off the team. Like,
Someone forgot Zergling speed, but other than that.
Oh yeah.
No. I mean, I shouted out everyone on the team last time, but this is an extra shout out for my roommate here for being such a good sport and helping us. Being our team captain, in spirit at least, and playing some games with us this week. So, yeah.
Awesome. That's so wholesome. Well, congratulations. It was a really exciting match. I'm really glad we got the opportunity to cast it. Before I let you go, any last words, anything like that?
No, that's all.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Congratulations. And we look forward to seeing you a little bit more in the future. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you. Awesome. Once again, that was Watertop from Northeastern University. Was able to clutch it out in that ever nail-biting ace match. And, well, we're going to bring BeoMulf back on. And, yeah, going to bring BeoMulf back on and say our goodbyes. Thank the CEA for having us. And that'll pretty much wrap up the stream. Once again, I do want to thank CEA for their stuff, doing what they do, bringing us on. Of course, I want to thank Gilded.gg. That is the site that is organizing the tournaments. It's pretty neat. It's got a lot of cool stuff with it. A lot of cool features. It's allowed us to kind of break the season down into week by week stuff. It's got a very neat little format, neat little layout, and it is quite useful. BeoMulf, are you back?
I am in fact back.
Okay. We don't have webcam from you, but that is okay. How are you doing?
You know what? It's great to listen to those interviews once again. Now, of course, I'm sad because we're on a delay, so I don't catch the end of it. That was really nice for corporate, but as it goes. Trials and trails of broadcasting. Interesting to hear about both sides. I do apologize for mispronouncing Akron all over the place. I don't know why my head has it incorrectly. And also for trying to talk about a South African organization as if they were from Russia. I was thinking about Regenerate Esports, not CSO. Even they have similar icons.
Fair enough.
But
well,
yeah,
I you know what happens. I wouldn't worry too much.
I would also, massive shout out to you, Steadfast, able to captain for the University of Akron and cast at the same time. So I didn't know you were doing that through to the entirety of the cast, but you did mention it at the end of that interview. So massive shout out to you there. Incredible work. Very proud of you.
Thanks, man. I do it again. Oh. Yeah, I catch myself doing stuff and just not even realizing sometimes. Like that's actually the worst kind of mistake to make, the one you don't even notice, because you just end up, something happens and you're like, wait, what words did I just say? And you just don't know. You just have no idea. And that makes correcting it even more difficult. Yeah.
I get that one.
But yeah, why don't you do your thing? Tell us where the folks can find you.
Well, first of all, a massive shout out to everyone. I think you gave the shout outs to everyone, but also massive shout out to our team, to Exxon. They're a bunch of cool dudes, and their players have been doing pretty well. Actually, special. They just went up 1-0 on Kelliser in the Latin American qualifier, or the Latin American playoff bracket. So, hey, it's happening. But if you like what I do, if you say, hey, this guy is not terrible, he might even be mediocre. You can find me on twitch.tv/BeoMulf, on trovo.live/BeoMulf, and on a bunch of other things when I cast for other organizations. So the best way to find me, of course, is just follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/BeoMulf_SC2. I always tweet out when I'm going live. That's pretty much the only thing I use that Twitter for, to be totally honest. But anyway, that's where you can find me. Where can the good folks find you, Steadfast? Unless you've already talked about it, and I'm just behind the ball.
No, I have not talked about it just yet. There are a few places you can find me. You can find me twitter.com/steadfastsc2. You can follow my Twitch at steadfastsc. You can follow me on YouTube, youtube.com/ actually, I don't know what the slash is, but YouTube steadfast_sc2. And yeah, you can, I guess, Monday nights, or Mondays during the day, I cast the ESL Pro Tour, the Open Cups. And then Wednesday nights, you and I both cast the Exxon Open on our respective Twitch channels. And, well, you can find us back here each Saturday. Now, I know, unfortunately, you're not going to be with us next Saturday. I will be solo casting that one. And then, funnily enough, the week after that, I've got a wedding, and you will be solo casting that one. So we won't be co-casting until I guess November 14th. Once again,
I
yeah,
will
that should
trust
be
your math.
that should be then. But yeah, that should be a good time still.
Yeah, absolutely. We get to be forever alone. Man, you got another wedding? It is not even wedding season's the summer. It's starting to get winter. I don't know what your friends are doing, but hey, you know what? Have a good time. Have a great time casting without me next week. I know you'll miss me so much.
Oh, I will. You know it.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I'm looking forward to see how this second set of challenger and seeding groups turn out, and how we move on into the playoff structure. So I am absolutely excited to see that.
Yeah, it should be a good time, and it at least if we get more of what we saw just now, we're gonna get some really exciting, really fantastic matches, and I look forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. What do we have? We have what, 9 more weeks of the season left. I know that's true of the collegiate side at least. Oh no, is it? No, 7 more weeks on the collegiate side.
That is an excellent question, but I will trust your judgment now. I'll trust your math on that, and yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. We go up to just before Christmas, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so. Whisper was saying something about there were 3 weeks of placement or bounding or challenger matches, and then 4 weeks of playoff. It's either that or it's 4 and 5. I forget.
Okay, well, regardless, yeah, we should have 9, or well, maybe after this one, 8 more weeks. Would that be right?
8 or well, it's either 3 and 4 or 4 and 5. So it's either 7 or 9, whatever the case may be. We got a bunch more Starcraft coming here, and yeah, I'm excited to see this keep going. I'm excited to see the tournament meta develop even more. We've started to see it a little as as teams figure out where to prioritize how things go, and specifically with how these 2v2 matchups work. But I'm really excited to see how that understanding of where to use the map swap, how to put your players with the 1v1 versus the 2v2, how you get all that set up. I'm really excited to see how that develops, and it really already has been a good amount.
Oh yeah, and there's been some big upsets as a result of it. I mean, we keep pointing to it, but the one where it was UCSD, I believe, got upset. Vindicta's team, for simplicity's sake. Yep. But hopefully we'll see some more of that in the future. I think that is going to wrap things up for us for tonight. Hope you have a wonderful afternoon, wonderful evening. Same to you, BeoMulf. Any last thoughts?
None that I can think of. It's been a great day of StarCraft, and I could not have been happier to share it with you and everyone else in chat. So, thanks so much. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, evening. Yes, what a rest of your afternoon here, Steadfast. And yeah, stay safe, everyone.